We are recording this. We are recording this meeting, and you will have just got a notification of that, just so we can post it online for the people who couldn't make it today. My name's Jodie Cunningham, and I'm the CEO of Craft ACT. I'm joined by Justine and Morag, who just waved in the corner there, who are working on Design Canberra programming as well. I'd like to acknowledge that we're meeting on the lands of the Ngunnawal and Ngambri people and pay respects to their elders past, present and emerging, and acknowledge that this land was never ceded. This has always been Aboriginal land, and acknowledge the continuing customs of First Nations people and how they're fully integrated with art, culture and life are fully integrated, and that means so much to all of us makers and arts workers here today. So thank you so much again for joining me. Justine and Morag have prepared a fantastic presentation, which I'm about to go through. Shouldn't take very long. And at the end, there'll be an opportunity for questions. So apologies if you know some of this or if you don't know some of this, but the aim of this is to give you an overview of what we expect for Design Canberra proposals. So I'm just going to share my screen now. So can you see the presentation? Just a thumbs up if you can. Great, thanks team. So each year we do a call out for proposals for the Design Canberra Festival. As you're aware, the Design Canberra Festival runs in Canberra every November, and it's been going for over 8 years. The last biggest year was 2020, where over 94,000 people attended over 250 events. So it's a festival that's growing in scope. The aim of the festival, The aim of the festival is to promote and celebrate Canberra as a global city of design and all of our wonderful artists, designers and makers, and the architecture of the city as well. It's Craft ACT's biggest public program, and the focus is mostly on design, but of course with craft and making being an integral part of the project. The applications this round are due on Monday, the 28th of March, and on our website, the designcanberrafestival.com.au. Sorry, is that right or is it org? So, anyway, Design Canberra, it's got an AU, just remember that. Craft ACT, Craft and Design Centre, runs the Design Canberra Festival. Craft ACT is one of the longest standing membership organisations of its kind in Australia, been going for 50 years strong. Last year was our 50th birthday, and we're hoping to hold a party this year because COVID wouldn't let us do it last year. And so we manage the festival, including the governance, the fundraising, the marketing and the publicity. And we are expanding our membership through the festival and supporting our members and makers through the festival through a range of opportunities. The Design Canberra Festival is a collaborative program that isn't possible without the input of over 260 partners. Some of those are sponsors, some of those are other organisations. So it requires a huge amount of logistical management from this very small team at Craft ACT to make it happen. The festival theme was transformation, and still is, because last year, unfortunately, we had to cancel the majority of the Design Canberra Festival and move a lot of that program over to this year, 22. So we've kept the theme of transformation because it is essentially the same festival, and also it's still incredibly relevant to the upheaval and disruption that we are all feeling at the moment still with the ongoing pandemic and issues that are affecting our world like climate change. And we do feel that we're in a state of transformation. The theme transformation was also picked because it was our 50th birthday, and we admire so much what our makers do by transforming materials like alchemists from raw materials into amazing, beautiful and meaningful art objects. So we encourage people to still respond to the theme of transformation so that proposals actually in some way explore what that means. But we're very open to lateral interpretations, so don't get too uptight about the theme. So there are two main ways that you can get involved with the Design Canberra Festival. There are curated programs and call-outs which we run from Craft ACT. And I'm just going to list what they are. So these are ones where you need to either look for call-outs or approach us directly. So these are not actually captured mostly, except with one exception, through this application process. So there's the Design Canberra Open Studio program. We have basically moved over all of the programmed open studios from last year to this year. However, we are considering new applications for 22 and 23. So if you would like to have an open studio, that's run on the 3 weekends of the Design Canberra Festival. And we arrange it so that studios are in the same geographic proximity so that visitors can visit the inner south and visit all the studios in the inner south. And they're very, very successful. They have become an amazing income earner for many of our artists. And they're also a really great treat for our visitors who really love seeing people's studios. So if you're not in the Open Studio program and you would like to be, then please put in an application for that. I believe our submission form will now, for this round, will actually accommodate for open studios. The Design Canberra Nurture Mindful Making workshops. So last year, instead of Design Canberra, we created a program called Nurture, which was about nurturing our artists and the community through wellbeing workshops that were made by that were run by Craft ACT members. And so if anyone's interested in running workshops, we would love to hear from you. We have the Design Canberra car wrap competition, which is run in partnership with our sponsor BMW. And there will be a call out for that when BMW lets us know what cars are available. And essentially the successful artists have their artwork put on a BMW and have fantastic photographs taken, and it's a very exciting opportunity. We have a photography competition, which we ran last year, and we've actually closed that one for this year because we had an overwhelming number of interest in that program. And so we'll be running it again in 23, and that's run by Instagram. We are initiating a new program of Creative Kids workshops. So we will be running a family stream through Design Canberra this year. And again, we would love to hear if you've got an idea for running workshops for children or families. We have the Nurture, Discover, Craft and Design Public Art Trail, which applications had closed, but we've decided to extend it to align with the deadline for all proposals for Design Canberra so we can evaluate them all together. This is an amazing opportunity for craftspeople and designers who are interested in transforming their practice and learning how to make art for the public and to be outside. So we've got 4 amazing mentors who are experts in their field in textiles, wood, casting and digital fabrication, and you can pop in an application to create an artwork which will be located in City West. So that's still available for submissions, but if you are interested specifically in that program, you'll need to go to the Design Canberra website and submit an application through the Craft and Design Trail. So these are all our commissioned call-outs and curated programs. The way you apply for those is individually, not in the main submission process that we're about to talk about. We are hoping to do a call out for 23 in June this year. So we're aiming to plan further in advance. So if you're not sure about doing a program for this year, or you're interested in thinking forward and don't have the capacity this year, please consider putting in an application for 23 in June. So there's just some pictures of different kinds of Design Canberra activations over the years, and we'll be able to share this presentation with you as well at the end of this. So how can you get involved? So the other way, other than our curated programs, is cross-promoted programs. What this means is you might have a project or an event or a book launch or an exhibition that you're already running, and you would like it to be listed as a Design Canberra program. The advantage for you in doing that is that the Design Canberra Festival has a large following and a quite rigorous marketing campaign to local and national and now international audiences. And so then you're likely to get a lot more people attending your event, program or workshop. We do like it if your program aligns with our theme and the core values of Design Canberra. So we do look at the proposals and try and make sure that we feel that they are a good fit with Design Canberra and our aspirations. So we historically have partnered with individual makers, groups of artists, cultural or educational institutions, businesses, researchers and government agencies who all have, and also community groups who've all been interested in having their program under the umbrella of the festival. So the kinds of cross-promoted programs that you could think about are artistic or craft and design activations, performance events, exhibitions, installations, online works, open studios, public talks, publication launches, research tours and workshops, and really anything that you think fits with what Design Canberra is. We also encourage Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander designers and artists to submit proposals for the program. So essentially, the reason for any of these groups who partner with us to have a cross-promoted event is to ride the Design Canberra Festival marketing machine. So as I mentioned earlier, we've had incredibly large audiences of people engaged with Design Canberra programs, and the highest in 2019 was over 114,000 people. And that has obviously dipped because of the pandemic, but we also have a really strong reach through our website and with 2.3 million impressions on digital ads. So there's more marketing results in a lot of our Design Canberra. Sorry, I've lost my train of thought and I'll go back to reading. So basically, the key is the marketing of your proposals. So what do we need from you? In A, we need a proposal that is in alignment with Design Canberra and our theming. We have to manage all the ticketing. The reason that we manage all the ticketing for all of these events is because it's not confusing for the public. So if you are someone who wants to visit Design Canberra, you can go to one place and book into multiple programs and events. We do take a 20% commission on paid ticketed programs because we basically have to manage all the ticketing, and it's to cover the administration costs. We don't make a profit from that. That's just to actually augment the ticketing. If your program is free, then we do not charge you a fee to be part of the festival. So there's a bit more fine print there that our ticketing provider fees we absorb, and it's not part of the commission that we take from you. So the key dates for this submission process, the submissions close on the 28th of March. By late April, we will notify you as to whether you've been accepted into the festival, and then we will actually generate by June the website listing, which will be sent to you for approval. We generate the website listing from the information you put in the submission process. So in the answers to questions, it will tell you if it's going to be published. So please think through how you write things, because there are so many events and so many stakeholders, we don't have time to go backwards and forwards to you. So we want to make sure that the information you give us at the front end is the information that you're happy to be put on the website. However, we do, of course, send you that final proof just to make sure everything's correct before we go live with the website. Then at the end of June, we'll do the call out for the following year. And then at the beginning of September, we aim to launch the website, and the tickets will go on sale at that point. We are aiming to try and get some promotion out a little bit earlier this year so that we can attract more national and international visitors to the festival. This year, the festival commences on the 2nd of November and concludes on the 20th of November. So lovely dates to remember, 2 to 20 November 22, all the twos. So how to apply? So you go to our festival website, designcanberrafestival.com.au, and click on the submissions button. So there is an underlined heading that says submit your proposal here. That will then take you through to a submittable form where you can fill that out with all the information that's required. And you'll notice there the main things that are covered in the application process are the name of the program, the description of the program. And with these two things, we need you to think in marketing speak. We can assist you with that if we think it needs to be a bit clearer. But those are really punchy, focused descriptions and names that tell people exactly what the project is and what they can expect to experience by being involved. We also need a copy of your public liability insurance. If you're a Craft ACT associate member or above, you will have insurance with us and you will be covered, but it would be great if you could make that clear. And we also require a COVID safety plan. We have an overarching plan for the festival, but we need to know that you've thought that through with your project as well. So we are now to the Q&A part of the presentation. So I'm just going to stop sharing. If anyone has a question, can you please turn your camera and your mic on and let us know, and we're happy to answer any of your questions.
Yeah. So Jodie, I'll also keep an eye on the chat and
Great.
read out any questions that come in there.
Great. Any questions? Would anyone like to share what they're thinking of doing? Kieran, you have a question?
Yes, hi. Regarding the workshops, so even on them, on those workshops, you'll have 20% commission?
Sorry, because the workshops are curated by us, so the business model is different for that. That's where we will pay artists to run workshops like we did in Nurture last year. So we pay a standard fee to an artist of $250 to run a workshop. So you get paid to do that if you're interested in doing that.
Okay. So I went on that form regarding the workshop, but then it tells me how much, what is the price of the ticket and stuff like that.
Okay, we will, if you just want to send us an email, Maura can discuss that with you, and we'll have a look and clean that up. So, because that can be confusing. We are trying to standardize the prices for the participants in workshops, and also pay our artists. But the question comes down to how much materials you need to run the workshop, and so there is a bit of a variable there. So we adjust the ticket price based on the expense of the materials.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Somebody has asked, is there a place Craft ACT will facilitate workshops?
Yes, so we will facilitate some workshops at Craft ACT as we did in the Nurture program. We will facilitate some workshops at the Design Canberra Festival Hub. The hub this year will be between the Legislative Assembly and the new Arts ACT building. So not in Civic and not in Civic Square, but over one block. And we were hoping to run most of our workshops there, but obviously we need to think about weather as well. So we will work with the artists to figure out exactly where the best location is for their workshop. There will be, Bernadette, a recording available.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
One from Bernadette.
So if there's no more questions, but you still have further queries as you're filling out your application form, please feel free to email Justine, justine.maroney@craftact.org.au. Justine might pop it in the chat for you. And we'll also send everyone who attended today a copy of the presentation, and a recording will be available soon as well. Any last questions? Well, we hope you all submit an application, because we welcome new ideas and new involvement in the festival. Thank you all so much for attending today. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.